right. So Yeshua.
Nishmat who?
You want a pizza?
Raya Bat Marusha.
Raya Bat
Go
Marusha.
wash your hand. What? Wash your hand.
Easy cooker.
Izik.
Hiskia Ben Burcho. Yosef Ben.
Yosef Ben.
Yosef Ben Burcho. Yosef Ben.
כל הנבחרים.
Bachmal.
Pizza wash.
Okay.
כל הנבחרים.
Yeah, Kol Niftarim, Leilun Nishmat, everybody.
Buddhist.
That passed away.
Yeah.
And for the...
Eliyahu Ben Mazal.
No.
I don't want. Keeps Boaz by
And thank you for the sponsors here. Mr. Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel, for sponsoring.
And, what's your name, Daniel?
Daniel.
Daniel. Also Daniel.
Daniel
Wow.
squared.
Double D.
Okay, what's up?
Okay.
Parashat Devarim, new
We're
book.
starting a new Sefer, Parashat Devarim. It's the beginning. This book is mainly talking about the words of Moshe, which is this whole entire Sefer Devarim is what Moshe was telling over to the Jewish people. So a lot of it consists of rebuke. He was telling them things that they did in the past. He said, you guys did this, you guys did that, and he's trying to tell them to fix themselves. And don't come into the same problems that you already did. How long did this all happen? How long was Moshe talking to them? So it says in the Pasuk, from Rosh Chodesh Shvat, he was starting to speak to them. Anybody know when Moshe passed away? Zayin Adar. How many days is that?
From what?
From Rosh Chodesh Shvat, the Pasuk says it started speaking, till Zayin Adar.
37 days.
Comes out to be, I think, because Shvat's 29 days. So it comes out to be 36.
36 days.
And there's a remez, the Orach Chaim brings down that the remez to the 36 days is it says, Ele HaDevarim, means a hint in the Pasuk. These are the words. So if you take the word Ela, which is Aleph, Lamed, and Hey, you get 36. Aleph, Lamed, Hey. So Aleph, Lamed, Hey, wow, how are you, David? You hear me?
Yeah, we came just on time.
Yeah.
Here we come.
So Aleph, Lamed, Hey is 36. So Moshe spoke to them for 36 days. So one of the things that he spoke to them about, he said, you guys, when we wanted to originally go into Eretz Yisrael, we wanted to first go into Israel, without having to go with this all these 40 years in the Midbar, is you guys sent spies into Israel. And Moshe says, Vayitav be'enei hadavar. He says, that which you decided to send spies was good in my eyes. Now the question is, was it good in Moshe's eyes that they decided to send spies? Was it a good thing?
No.
That they sent the spies?
No, they didn't trust Hashem.
Because they didn't trust Hashem. The whole thing was you gotta trust Hashem, that He's gonna give you the right land, Eretz Yisrael, everything is gonna be great, and you go inside, don't ask questions. What do? They said, I don't know if it's gonna be good, let me go see, let's send spies to see the land, see what the people are, see the cities, is it gonna be hard, is it even worth it going there? So they wanted to test Hashem. So Rashi explains, Im be'enei Moshe yatov, lama hara b'tochechot. If Moshe is saying, okay, that what you guys wanted to send spies, amazing. Then why is he saying it as a rebuke? Oh, you guys wanted to send spies. If it's something good, then why does he mention it as something that was bad? So Rashi explains, Mashallah Adam shomer lechavero, that really it was very bad. He didn't want them to send spies, but he was trying to trick them. He was telling them like this. Imagine a guy comes to you, Rashi gives an example of a donkey. Back then, you said donkeys, not cars. The guy says, I want to buy your car. And he says, okay, fine. You say, yeah, I'll sell you my car. But he says, I don't know if it drives well. Let me take it for a test drive. And you say, okay, fine, take it for a test drive. You can take it. You say, okay, I'm going to take it on the highway. I'm going to take it to the desert or whatever I want to take it. He says, okay, go ahead. Take it wherever you want. So then the guy's like, you know what? I see that you're letting me go and take it. You're not going to say, oh, no. You buy it right now, no returns. You're not doing that. You say, I'm going to give it to you. So the fact that he's going to let it go, the guy's going to just buy it. So same thing Moshe was trying to do with the land. He's trying to say, okay, you guys want to go spy it? Fine, you could go spy it. And then he wanted them to answer back, oh, now that you're letting us spy it, must be there's nothing wrong with it. Make sense? Yeah. They're just trying to test it. But what did they do? They ended up failing. They ended up saying, no, we still want to send the spies. We still want to go test Hashem, which was the problem. So when it says in the pasuk Vayitav b'nei davar, did that mean literally Moshe desired them to go inside? No, he didn't want them to go inside. He wanted rather them to answer, oh, now that we see that you are going to let us go, now we're going to see it's going to be good. But the Zera Shimshon has a problem with this pshat, with Rashi's pshat. Kashe, da mikol makom af lefi perush zeh lo shayach lomar v'yitav b'nei davar. Still, you can't tell me that this was good. Because it comes out, the yoter tov hayesh lo yishalu kilum. It would have been much better, just don't ask questions. Do what Hashem says, go inside Eretz Yisrael, just don't send any spies, and that's it. Bitachon and Hashem. Because they're asking questions, it's worse. But Moshe is making it sound like it's good. Oh, the Tav Denei Davar, it was very good. You guys asked the question. You guys just messed up with the answer. But really, they shouldn't have even asked the question in the first place. So, also another problem is Moshe told the spies, he said, when you go check the land, make sure that it says here, is it strong? Is it weak? Are their cities fortified? Or are they open? What's the difference if it's fortified and open?
Strong, protected.
No, just the opposite. Just the opposite. Because how do you tell if someone's strong? How do you tell if a guy is strong?
Not fortified.
The guy could be, he doesn't need a whole escort, he doesn't need a whole entourage. No, that's it. No fortified, no walls. They have belief in themselves. They can fend off any attackers. So if they have open cities, if there's no walls around them, then we see that they're strong. Because they believe that they can fend for themselves. They don't even need a defense. So Moshe is basically saying, go check out all these things. And he gives them a whole list. He says, is the land good? Are there trees there? Is this? Is this that? He gives them the whole checklist and he says, come back with the answers. So why does he have to give them a checklist? If you're going to land, that's what you're going to do. You're going to check how many people are there, how strong are there, how are their cities. You're going to do that anyway. Why does he have to specify it? The Torah is not a storybook. It's not just going to say stuff for no reason. Why couldn't you just say stam? Say go check the land out, and automatically they're going to look for these stuff. So he brings down a halacha on Shulchan Aruch, Siman Reish Lamed Bet. Halacha says, if you sell something to somebody, and when everyone buys this certain item, everyone knows if it has this, it's a good sale. If it doesn't have this, it's a bad sale. Meaning, let's say I sell you a car. I sell you a car, and it comes, ships to your door, there's no doors on the car. What are you going to tell me?
Jeep Wrangler.
There's no doors on the car. You're going to say, I bought a car. Everyone knows a car needs doors. Unless it's a mail truck. Yeah, I need doors on my car. So automatically, car goes back. If let's say, you say, I wanted a V8 engine, I wanted a fast car. This car is slow. What do I need it? You could say, excuse me, I sold you a car. Okay, it's not fast for you? I'm sorry, that's your fault. You should have specified originally whatever you wanted. That's how sales work. So Shulchan Aruch Paskins, you have to specify the details of the sale if it's not something normal. So the Zera Shimshon says this is exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to do. He said, if they're going to go inside Eretz Yisrael, if they're going to go inside Israel, they're going to find every little problem. They're going to look at this thing, they're going to look at that thing, oh, it doesn't have this, doesn't have that. He says, I'm going to make a nice checklist for you guys. We're going to both agree to it, which they did. This was the checklist. And now you guys have to come back with these things checked off. You can't come to me with other problems. There's other problems. It's not our fault. This is what we're looking for, and that's it. So he said, this is why I sent them with the checklist. But what happened? They came back with their own the fruits. Look at these fruits. They're huge. If we have huge fruits, then there's strong people. But that's not how he said to measure the strongness. How do you measure strength, we said? Openness. Non-fortified. Yeah? Because when a city is open, we said, the strength of the people is a lot. So he gave them a checklist, but they came back with their own stuff. He says, they agreed, this is what we're going to look for. Just like a sale. You agree, you're going to give me this type of car, this certain speed it could go up to, this type of engine. You give the details of the car. For example, if there would be a lot of people there, if they're strong, like we said, they're sitting in open cities. That's the sign Moshe Rabbeinu gave them. But what did they come? They came with a different sign, like we just said. Oh, there's giants there, they're this. That's not the sign we talked about. The sign we talked about is the cities. So they came back with different types of stuff. So it came out that originally Moshe imitav b'nei hadavar, right? Moshe liked what they wanted. Okay, you guys complained. You guys want to go see the land. Fine. But we agreed to one thing, and you guys did a totally different thing. So zeh shekatav v'yitav b'nei hadavar she'atov b'nei laskim b'nei hamumin. He says, in my eyes, I agree to the fact that if we make the agreement with the checklist, that's what you guys have to come back with. He says, I knew in Eretz Yisrael, he already knew, there's no problems with Israel. Everything is great over there. Everything on the checklist would have been a check. He also says the mashal went in Rashi was that, said if a guy comes to you and says, can I buy your donkey? And you say yes. And then he says, can I go for a test drive, like we said? And he says yes again. And then he says again, can I take it to the mountains? Can I take it to the rivers? I want to see how it's going to work. And he says yes again. I have a question. How many times do the Jewish people ask, could we go check out the land? Once. So why is Rashi bringing a mashal that has two things in it? Make sense, the question? Why is the mashal two questions? The two questions like this. Can I go ride the donkey? He says yes. Which is in comparison of, can I go check out the land? Yeah? Then there's a second question. Can I go take it to the mountains? Can I take it to the rivers? Which is the second question, but there was never a second question. When did the Jews ask the second question? So the Zera Shimshon brings down, he says, so what's this? He's saying these are the details. The mountains and the rivers and the hills, that's the details that Moshe Rabbeinu was giving them. He said, this is your test drive basically. You could only do this. So Moshe Rabbeinu came with this list. Moshe Rabbeinu was worried they're going to come back with all different types of things. Because many people have bad perspectives. They're going to take one thing that looks good, and they're going to switch it to something bad. So Yechoshesh Moshe pen Yirun she'af ma she'ein amom, aval ata she'eskimu ein lehem pituchon pe ledaber. Ubederech ze yuvan na mima she'perish Rashi ha'pasuk v'yeshiva oto davar. We could also understand the pasuk. It says, and they're going to bring the word back. What does it mean? They brought word back. One more time. They sent spies, and when they sent spies, he gave them a checklist what to look for. And the pasuk says they came with their words back. What does that mean? They came with their words back. So one of the what?
They brought the list back.
The what? The what?
The list.
The list back.
Checklist.
The checklist.
Oh, the checklist. What was one of the things?
If the trees are good, if the what's it called? The fruits are good. If the thing's
land's
stable.
fortified or not.
Exactly. So Rashi's saying this is another thing we see from the pasuk. Another thing on the list was what type of language do they speak? No, in Israel. What type of language?
Hebrew.
So, no, back then they didn't speak Hebrew. So he asked them, they came back with the language as well. Meaning that was also one of the things on the checklist. So he's trying to bring proofs that there was a checklist. So now we can understand the pshat. Vayitav b'nei davar. Meaning Moshe liked what they wanted. Okay, you guys want to go check the land? Fine. You go check it. You guys don't have bitachon. But as long as we make an agreement. That agreement included all these type of things. Like we saw a proof in the pasuk. It says they came back with words. Which words? The language. That was one of the things that was on the checklist. So that was what he liked. But they came back with different types of stuff. Like we said, the fruits are bad, the giants. So it came out that the whole arrangement to send the spies didn't really work. They brought back an evil report, things that were never even mentioned. Right? One of the things they said was just as the fruit is not usual, right? It was ginormous fruits, so too the people are not. Like we said, that wasn't one of the things. Even though they saw it was not fortified cities. So the reason why Moshe Rabbeinu mentioned this in one of the rebukes is because there was a sin in the spies. What was the sin? What was the sin that the spies did?
They didn't deliver.
Complain.
They didn't deliver correctly.
They complain.
How did they complain? They were allowed to complain. If they came back with the complaints that was on the list, it would have been fine. Everyone thinks, oh, they just came back and complained. They were allowed to complain. If you go spy something out, you have to come back with a good report?
Yeah.
You have to?
No.
No. Oh.
But if Hashem already give us this land,
True, they lacked
why
in
you need to
bitachon. They don't have
complain?
bitachon.
That,
But what was the sin of the spies? What did the spies do
stuff.
wrong? They added stuff. They did things that were not supposed to be done. They said things that were not supposed to be done. They did not have bitachon in Hashem. There was a story once with this guy. There was a very rich guy. You probably heard the story. I'll tell you why. But there was this very rich guy, and there was a certain student of a certain Rebbe, I forgot his name, and the student went to the Rebbe, and he said, he was a Chassid, and he went to the Rebbe, and he said, I have trust in Hashem. He said, I have bitachon. So the Rebbe was like, you want to know what real trust in Hashem is? He says, yes. So he says, I'm going to send you to this rich guy. He lives all the way in a different city. You're going to go to him, stay by him for a week or two, and then you're going to learn what real bitachon is, what real trust in Hashem is. So he goes to the city, goes to the guy, and knocks on the door. They open the door, and he sees people are all over the place. There's servants leading people, giving people food, bringing them to rooms, letting them sleep as a guest. And there's a whole Gimilut Chasadim operation here. Haknasat Orchim. Yeah? This guy, the head of the household, this huge mansion, is in charge of giving all these guys places to sleep, giving them food. And he also sees on the other side, he sees there's businessmen, guys in nice suits, doing deals. And they're going to this guy, to this rich guy, they're signing papers, millions of dollars worth of business deals. And this guy is hustling and bustling all over the place. So all of a sudden, this one servant comes to him. He says, oh, you need a place to sleep? He says, yeah, can I stay here for a week? He says, no problem. I'll bring you to a room. Brings him to a room. Gives him something to eat. Now he's looking around. He's looking around throughout the week. And he sees, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? Rich guy, lots of money. What's he going to spend it on? He has a nice house. He has servants. Okay, he's giving tzedakah. Guys are coming, asking for tzedakah. Writes them $10,000, $20,000. Sponsors this, sponsor that. He's giving everything, but he's rich. So it's not called bitachon. Oh, I have trust in Hashem. The guy himself is rich. Why do I have to, what am I going to learn from this guy? So a week passes, and he goes to the guy. He wants to say thank you for letting me stay. And the guy asks him, why were you here? What do you do here? Like, do you have any business to do? Like, why you randomly stay here for a week in the city? So he says, no, it's fine. I just need to stay. He says, no, tell me, don't worry. So he says, this so-and-so Rebbe sent me here. He said I should come to you to see what bitachon is, to see what trust in Hashem really is. So he says, but really, I don't really see anything special. So okay, average rich guy, gives tzedakah, does Gimilut Chasadim, Achnasat Orchim, letting people come to his house. But I didn't see anything special. Like, oh, this guy is, you're gonna learn bitachon from him. So he says, if the Rebbe sent you, then I can tell you what's really up. So he takes this guy, and he brings him to the back room. And there's this big safe, walk-in safe. And he says, this safe is where I have all my treasures. Every time people come asking for money, they say, oh, you owe me $25,000. We did a business deal. I put you on credit. So all of a sudden I come here, and they know this is my spot. They think I got my money from here. And I want to really show you what's really inside here. So he goes, and he opens the door of the safe. He comes in, and he says, try to look for my money. See if you can find it. So the guy goes, and he's searching. He sees maybe there's like a secret button I could click, find the money. Maybe it's like behind the door. But all he sees, one desk and a chair. And he's looking through the closets of the desk, and he sees this one little notepad, one little notebook, and that's it. So he says, yo, where's your money? What, are you lying to me? He says, no, this is it. This is all I have. This is all my money. And why do I come in here? So he says, I write down in this notebook all the guys that owe me money. This guy comes up to me, I did a business deal with him, I owe him $10,000. This guy comes up to me, I owe him $500. So I write down all my creditors in here, and when they come asking for money, I go check, is this guy legit? I owe money? And if so, I sit down in this chair and I daven to Hashem. I say, Hashem, please send me this money so I can pay him back. And I daven. I get up, and somehow, somewhere, Hashem makes it that I get the money. From this guy, from that guy. So he says, what? That's impossible. How can that happen? Well, every time this guy owes you money, you go and you have $0. He says, every night I go to sleep, $0 in my bank account. Everything I give to poor people, I give out, give for food, give tzedakah. So he says, wow.
Yeah, it's an Avera. You're supposed to give 10% of your worth. That's
True. But
last week we learned 20%.
20%. So 10%.
The best.
10% is Pashup Shah. Yeah, because the pasuk says, like we learned last week, it says aser te aser. It says give ma'aser, but it says it twice. Why does it say give it twice? Because it means to say give it 10%, give another 10%, which is 20%. So the best, like you said, is 20%. That's what the Shulchan Aruch paskins. But that's for normal people. But they say, it also says in the Shulchan Aruch, anytime someone comes to you and asks you for money, above the 20%, let's say you made $100,000, you already gave your $20,000. Even if someone comes to ask you again for money, you have to give it. You can't just say, oh, I'm already Yotze. I already gave my 20%. It's not the way it works. But this guy was above average. We're going to speak about that soon. So, he says, I'll come show you. I'll show you what's up. So, I'll show you how this happens. So, he goes to his office, and he says, you could stay with me for the day, and you could see how this whole operation works. So, he stays. A few hours later, a guy comes up to him, and he says, Mister, I did a business deal with you about 3 months ago. You owe me $12,000. $12,000, okay? So he says, okay, for now you could go. There's a whole buffet table. Go enjoy yourself. Go get something to eat. Rest up. I'll get your money. Okay? He's the messenger for his master. So okay, fine. I'm gonna go eat, enjoy. Then another guy comes into the office. Who's this guy? A general of the army. General of the army comes in and he says, I'm gonna go right now out to sea. I'm a Navy officer and I don't trust my family. If I come back from the sea, they're gonna say, oh, they lost the money, but really they're just gonna hide it and use it themselves. So he says, I want you, I know you're a trustworthy guy, everyone does business with you. I want you to hold my money for me. Okay, he takes the bag, the general leaves. The guy opens the bag up. How much is inside? $12,000. So the guy's like, wow, actually $12,000. I missed the part of the story. During that interval, he went to the safe, and he davened there. He saw the guy davening, and he came back, and then the general came. So he says, how can I ever reach that level of being on such a high level of bitachon? So he says, you got to trust in Hashem for everything. Anything that happens to you, whatever state you're in. Doesn't matter if you're poor, doesn't matter if you're rich, you always got to believe in Hashem. Some people, they only believe in Hashem when they're poor. They say, oh, the reason why I don't have money is because, Hashem, I'm supposed to get it. I did sins in my life. I wasn't supposed to get the money. But when they're rich, they say, oh, it's all me. I'm the one that made the deal. I just sold this watch. I did this. They're always saying me. There's a story once with a doctor. There's a guy, critical illness, he was about to die. He comes to the doctor, he comes to the surgeon, and he says, can you do this operation for me? And the surgeon says, this surgery, really 10% of the chance it works. The other 90%, the guy always dies. So he says, no, still, I only have like a few weeks left. Please do the surgery. So the doctor tells him, he says, okay, you got to sign a paper that says, if this surgery goes bad, you can't sue me, your family can't sue me, nothing can happen. So he said, okay, you know what? I'll sign it. But on one condition. If on the bottom of that paper it also says, if the surgery goes well, it's not you who did it. It's Hashem who did it. So we don't have to only have bitachon. Oh, I trust Hashem. Everything came from Hashem. Only when it came bad. Oh, it's not my fault. It was Hashem. Even when the things are going good in your life, even when you're rich, you're supposed to believe in Hashem. Say it all came from God. And this is the lesson of bitachon he taught to this guy. So now this guy has to go back to his Rebbe. Go back to his hometown. So he says, okay, bye, I'll see you. And he's about to leave the door, and he's like, ooh, I don't really have money for the way back. And he says, look at you. You already failed in the first 10 seconds. You already don't believe that Hashem's going to give you your way back home. And he says, you know what? Here's the $200 you need for the way back, and leave. But from now on, bitachon in Hashem. Anything that Hashem gives you, anything that Hashem puts you in, you have to believe this is what He put you in. You have to trust Him. He's always going to have your back. Now, people are going to say, you can't be on the level of this guy. Give away all your money. You're going to come home every night, $0 in your bank account. Can't do that. No one's at the level of bitachon. But we're supposed to aspire. We're supposed to see that there's a person in charge. Not a person, but there's an entity, Hashem. He's in charge of everything. You're not supposed to jump to the highest level of bitachon. Like we learned over Shabbat with our Moshe Maratov. It's like a guy, he gave an example in the gym. Yeah, you can't go to the gym right away, start picking up 150 pounds. It doesn't work like that. Only David. But you got to build yourself up. Yeah, you got to start with 20, 30, 40, 50. Even one day he was like that. You got to build yourself from the bottom to the top. You can't just jump and say, okay, anything that Hashem does, I'm gonna believe it. I'm not gonna. He gave our Moshe Rato gave an example on Shabbat. He says, let's say I have a business. It's making $200,000. Good. I'm taking home $200,000 in profit. Fine. All of a sudden comes up a deal. I can right now open, let's say, a second store. Let's say it's a pharmacy. I can open up a second pharmacy and make another $200,000. Just do the same exact thing. Now I make $400,000. Should I take it or no?
According to who?
Should I take the second store?
Yeah, if you can make 200,000, why not?
If you could easily build it up 1 year, 2 years.
Send you 400 in this one. Why would you need to?
Why not? Yeah, you should take it. Yeah.
You should take it.
No.
So why is he telling me that you shouldn't take it?
Who's saying
The
nobody?
guy can give it to you. He can give it to you in one. Why would you need
Take
to?
it.
Why would you need
Whatever
that?
Hashem-
That'd be
You're telling me right now. If right now Hashem, you, no one else, you. If Hashem will give you the opportunity to open up a second store, whatever how much money you make in your first jewelry store, He's going to open up a second one. You're going to open up a second one.
Hashem give me the opportunity to do it.
Hashem gave you opportunity. What do you mean? Who else gave you the opportunity? Hashem gave you the opportunity.
But it's not going to be that he said it. It's just going to be an opportunity.
Nah,
The opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity.
Opportunity that you can take your business and you can grow.
Yeah.
You have one business, you want to open a second business.
According
Would
to
you
the-
take it?
Take
Yes.
it both.
According
take
to
it.
your whole story that you just gave us, you don't take it. You just say, Hashem, you'll give it to me here. I don't need 2 headaches. You give it to me here.
Oh,
Double.
so
Yeah,
now
but
first
yeah,
question you
but
ask
yeah.
yourself.
What-
First question you ask yourself.
No.
Is it going to bother you from
Learning.
learning? If you have 2 businesses, you got to be jumping around
Get a
there to there
manager.
to there. I mean, you get a manager.
You still have to be involved in
You
it.
still have to be involved. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Like they say, the best manager is the boss, is the guy in charge, the owner. Yeah? You're still going to be bothering. So that's the question. If you get a manager, if you can have a guy who's dealing with everything, it's not going to bother you from your schedule of learning. Because the person has to learn every single day. Every single day there's a chiyuv. V'yigisa b'yoyimam v'layla. You got to learn day and night. So if it's going to stop you from your learning, 100%, you don't take it.
Yeah, well, of
But
course.
let's say, yeah.
When if Hashem gives you opportunity, you're supposed to take your own. I know a story that one time
Yeah.
a guy's house got flooded, and before the second floor, the first floor he was on was flooded.
Okay.
He ran past the second floor. Before the second floor get flooded, he saw there was helicopters that were coming to save people. Like, come here, we'll go downstairs to a safe place. And the guy said, "No, I believe in Hashem." And then he dies. He goes up to Shemaim, and all of a sudden he sees Hashem, and Hashem said, "Hashem, why'd you not save me?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I gave you a helicopter. Why'd you not go in?" Exactly, that's the thing. He gave you a store, your opportunity to go rich. He said, I pray, I do this, I do that. I give you a chance to open up a store, and you can still. Why are you saying? Why no?
So you want to see the difference?
Yeah.
First difference is
Yeah.
that. You want to see what's this?
No, go.
Oh, say it.
Here he's making money. It's not like he doesn't have money. If the guy doesn't have anything and he gave him opportunity and he didn't take it, now he's making a mistake.
Yeah.
But over here, the guy has nothing. He's telling him, okay, come, I'll take you. That's his way of believing in Hashem and save himself. But over here, he doesn't need extra. He's saying if you're gonna take away from the time of learning, if you're gonna take away, if it's not gonna bother your schedule, do it, of course.
It's a test on its own. Of its own.
Yeah.
Because over there, it's either you're going to take the helicopter ride out of this flood or you're going to die. You can't just say, no, Hashem got me. What are you going to wait for? Hashem's going to send you a malach, he's going to pick you up and take you to a different place? No, you have to grab the opportunity. But over here, like he said, there's already a business operating. So, one more time, should I take the second business? So you know what the answer is? The answer is it depends on you. If you won't take the second business, and you're going to say in the future, let's say someone else got that spot, he opened up, and he's making the $200,000.
That's a lack of bitachon.
Exactly. So if you're going to say in the future, wow, I should have taken that store, I regret it. So if you're going to say that in your brain, I should have took it, then you should have took it. If you're going to regret what you're going to do in the future,
Take it.
then you should have took it. But if the guy does not regret it, he knows, if I would have opened up the store.
Hashem, they give you.
True.
You need to take it. That's it. You just
Bukhari
say
mentality, just think.
This doesn't
Just
matter
do it.
Bukhari or Russian. Hashem give you, take it.
They would believe.
You believe.
True.
But if the person learns, I know the guy, he own like 30 buildings.
Okay. No, that's one business.
Even if he's gonna get now 10 more buildings, it's not gonna be effect for his Torah.
The more he has.
No. I'm saying
No,
even
but-
if it doesn't affect the Torah, that's what I'm trying to say. Even if it doesn't affect your schedule, you're still going to be doing everything. Like you said, you're going to get a manager, trustworthy manager. He's going to take over everything. Even then, should I just say, the first business? If Hashem wants me to get $400,000, I'll make $400,000 from the first business. Just grow the business. The business is going to grow.
But that takes time too.
That also takes time, exactly. But let's say you're not meant to make them $400,000. So even if you open the second place,
Yeah, you're not guaranteed to make 200 in the new place.
maybe this place
Maybe
is going to
it's
do bad.
Suck your money out
Exactly.
From the store. And then you end up with, again, 200,000 with double expenses.
and double the expense. So basically, it's all dependent on you. If you wouldn't have took it and you're going to regret it in the future, then what level are you on? Should you take the store? 100% you should take the store. But if you're on the level of bitachon to say, I'm not going to take the store. I believe in Hashem. If He's going to send me the money, meaning it's not that I'm not growing my business. Yeah, the store. Your example is you have 30 buildings, and then you're going to get another 10 buildings. That's all one real estate firm, whatever it is. But over here, I have a business. I have a steady income. I have everything. Hashem can take it and grow it. There's harbeh shluchim l'makom. Hashem has many ways of sending you the money you're supposed to get. Especially with money, He has many ways to do it. So the key is, if you're going to regret it in the future, then you should take the store. Take the second opportunity. Because bitachon is leveling you. You don't start jumping like to this level of the guy. You don't go to sleep every night, $0 in your bank account. That's not the way it works. You're supposed to be on your level. You slowly grow and grow and grow. Otherwise, you're just going to fall. So Zat Hashem, we're able to learn from the Meraglim, not to make the same mistake, and from the Jews, not to complain. Not to say, we don't trust in Hashem, maybe He's not going to give us good. No, we're going to keep the status of our bitachon, and we're going to learn from this guy, this rich dude in the story, that one day we're going to try to aspire to be on his level of bitachon, but the only way to do that is to slowly go up in the levels. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen.